Hi students, I wanted to put a video up today to explain what we're going to be doing for our last 3 weeks of school. So all school year long, I talked about reality fair, and whenever I talked about it, I told you guys it was a really awesome thing, and I would tell you what it was at the end of the school year. Well, here we are. We're in the last 3 weeks of school, and this is typically when we would do reality fair. So first off, I want to give a big shout out to Desco Credit Union for being willing to help us create some videos for you guys so that you can still have this experience, even though reality fair this year is going to be a virtual reality fair. So first off, what you might be wondering is, what is reality fair? So reality fair is kind of like the game of life. If you've ever played this board game, it's kind of similar to that. What the reality fair is, we spend several days looking into different career opportunities that might interest you. So we do some interest surveys and some different things to help you figure out what jobs you might be good at or what jobs you might be interested in pursuing someday. And we research those jobs and we figure out, what do those people in those jobs get paid the first year that they start in those jobs. So we spend, about a week researching different job opportunities and careers that might interest us based off of, our subjects we like in school, things we like to do outside of school, our morals. Different things will influence what kind of job you want to pick when you grow up. So we'll talk about how to narrow that down to kind of 3 main career choices. And then after you have narrowed down your career choice to 3, we'll research those thoroughly. And then at the end of that, you're going to pick one job that you want to do for reality fair. So once you have a job picked, we will fill out a monthly budget sheet. And I'm going to grab mine. So the second week, we will look at, when you have a salary, what comes out of that. So how much are taxes? How much do you have to give back to the government? How much do you have to pay for healthcare? Those sorts of things. And then what we'll do for the 2 weeks after that is, usually you would take your budget sheet and you would go into reality fair and you would go to different tables and work with different volunteers that represent each of the monthly expenses you would have. So you would go to a table and they would explain to you, when you grow up, are you planning to rent a place to live? Are you planning on buying a home? Are you planning on buying a really big home? And looking at how much would it cost you to do each of those things. So at each table or station, there would be different options. So there's going to be like a cheap option or a less expensive option, and then middle of the road option, and then a very expensive option. So there's several options at each station. So since you can't go to stations, we're going to post videos. So the first week we'll just do research on careers. The second week, you'll do a video a day that talks about the expenses at each station, and you'll fill in your budget sheet as you go. So you'll watch the video, figure out which option you wanted from the video, and then record it on your sheet. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. Some of the stations or videos that we'll have there, like I said, there's housing, there's a transportation one, so picking what kind of car or vehicle you want, or if you're gonna, live in a city and ride a bus to and from work, or maybe you want a motorcycle, those sorts of things. Food, what kinds of food are you going to eat? Are you going to eat out every night? Are you going to eat ramen noodles your whole life? What kind of grocery options? Utilities, electric, heat, cable, internet, water bills, all those things that you probably haven't had to think about before. And clothing expenses, insurance expenses, and then temptations. So spending money on pets or traveling or expensive computers or big television sets or things like that. So that's what we have coming up over the next few weeks. So I will be posting videos every day to kind of help you guys with the research part of it. And then, like I said, you'll be filling in a monthly budget sheet, and I'll post one that looks like this. So I'm gonna probably put all of the stuff that we would normally do. I would normally hand you a printout, but I'm just gonna put it on Google Classroom as like a Google document that you can type into, and then you can submit it through Google Classroom that way. Or if you prefer to print it out and handwrite stuff, I'm fine with that too, but I wanted to give you guys an option to where you could just type it and then submit it back to me. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing over the next 3 weeks. If you are a person who gets mailed a packet and you've also been watching some of the videos online, the packets that I mailed out are different than Reality Fair, because for Reality Fair, you have to be able to do research. And I thought if you didn't have an internet connection, or, access to a library, all the libraries are closed, I didn't know how you could do career research. So if you are a person that got mailed a packet, you need to pick either do the Reality Fair stuff that's posted online or do your packet. You don't have to do both. You just do one or the other. The last thing I want to talk about really quickly before I jump off of here is grades. I have been emailed 1,000 emails, I feel like, with pages and pages of work, which is awesome. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you my inbox is overflowing. So I'm trying to get caught up with those and get grades in the grade book. As I sift through those, I try to send you an email back letting you know, hey, I got this. I put it in the grade book today. So if you haven't got an email back yet, it's probably because I've left it as unread. That way I don't lose it in the thousands of emails that I get. And then I've also went to the Dropbox today. Today is Saturday. So I've got those to go through. I'll get those up. And then I'm gonna go back through Google Classroom because I know I've seen, I get like notifications on my phone when you guys submit stuff on Google Classroom. So I will get that. So thank you for those of you that have been turning in work through whatever form that you've been turning it in. If you haven't been turning in work, I have to see your workbook pages to give you credit. You can't just mark that you turned it in. I actually physically have to see it. So you either need to email me a picture or submit a picture on Google Classroom or tear the pages out and turn them into the drop boxes in front of the school. So if you didn't know there are drop boxes, the doors that you guys would normally go into in the mornings when you get off of the buses, there are drawers there, and there's one that's marked 6th grade, and you can put your work in there. I have a lot of people putting them in Ziploc baggies, which is fine. So if you don't have a stapler or an envelope or some way to contain your work and you don't want to have to go through and put your name on every single page, just put it in something. Ziploc bag is fine, or whatever you have. If you have a stapler, that's fine. You can staple your pages and turn them in. And then as I get grades, I will try to get them updated as fast as I can. Like I said, right now, I'm kind of drowning in stuff to grade because people have turned in stuff from the very first week to the test that you guys just finished yesterday. So I will try to get caught back up with that as soon as I can. If Google Classroom sends you stuff telling you that you haven't turned things in, don't go by what Google Classroom says, go by progress book. So if you know you've turned it into me on through Google Classroom or through an email, don't worry if Google Classroom is telling you haven't submitted it. It's just angry that you haven't clicked that you turned it in. So don't go by Google Classroom, go by progress book, and I will get that updated as soon as I can. So for those of you that are watching this, the next 3 weeks we're doing Reality Fair, and I'm super excited because I feel like you guys are going to learn a lot about awesome career options for yourselves and just a dose of reality, what things cost and the bills that your parents pay every month. So I think it's a great learning opportunity for everyone. And I just wanted to give you a heads up on what's to come. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.